Okay, in some breaking cricket news that's just broken in the last hour or so is Sri Lanka have appointed Chris Silverwood as their new head coach on a 2-year deal. Now, obviously, Chris Silverwood built his reputation with what he did at Essex, winning the county championship back in 2017, their first title in 25 years, which earned him a spot on Trevor Bayliss's coaching staff with the England setup, which he then replaced Bayliss in 2019, going from bowling coach to head coach. However, it was nothing short of a disaster, quite honestly. England's form has completely gone off a cliff with one test win in 18 tests. And that's including the last 3 tests against the West Indies, which obviously Chris Silverwood was not in charge for. He had resigned by that point. His reputation is left in tatters because of that Ashes series, quite frankly. Now, I don't think Chris Silverwood is a bad coach. And you have to look at his record at Essex and his record as an assistant to the England setup before 2019. England were, a pretty solid test side. But his tenure as head coach, yes, COVID did have an impact, and I don't think the England test setup adjusted very well in the last 18 months to resuming touring and playing again. Yeah, he will be judged, however, on his record, and the record isn't great. There's been a lot of question marks over, team selection. There's been a lot of question marks over his relationship with the playing group. Obviously, there's been a lot of questions aimed at his captain, Joe Root. He kept Joe Root as England captain when he was appointed as head coach of England. He didn't decide to shake up the dressing room in that sense. He kept the same leadership group. But there have been several key moments, I believe, in Chris Silverwood's tenure as England coach that, I think weakened his position towards the end. I think losing Moeen Ali and not encouraging Moeen Ali to try and, make a test comeback was a mistake. They lost an all-rounder there. Some of the squad selections made for the Ashes series, and of course they would have had the West Indies series in mind when they were making squad selections for the elite squad for both test series, left me scratching my head. Some of the tactical decisions made in the Ashes series and other test series as well, didn't get desired results, and when you got one test win in a calendar year, which is the worst England have ever had, and I've seen some pretty bad England sides over the years that have lost test series, but have at least won a test or 2 tests, in a test series, in a 4 or 5 test series. I've never seen an England side perform so badly over a calendar year. It was their worst year on record, and he was the head coach in charge. So this is an opportunity to rebuild his reputation. The Sri Lankans are taking a risk, but they need a new head coach. They've not had a head coach since December, so to get a new appointment in and settled is important. They're currently 7th in the test ranking, so it'll be interesting to see how their test ranking status, where they are in the rankings, how over the next 12 months, how that looks in 12 months' time. They have got an upcoming series against Bangladesh in May, so that'll be his first test as head coach is literally just next month. So he doesn't have long to get to know his playing group and the selectors and work with the players that he'll be coaching, basically. He doesn't have very long to get to know them, their strengths, their weaknesses. And yeah, they'll be going in against not just rivals, but local rivals in Bangladesh, because the subcontinental countries in Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, that's big cricketing rivalries, because historical reasons. So that's a big test series. Even though Bangladesh aren't the best test side in the world, it means something for these players. So he's got to get them playing on the front foot, and being committed against some of their nearest rivals. But yeah, his time, especially the Ashes series in the last 12 months, has been a disaster. His reputation has taken a massive hit. It will be interesting to see how Sri Lanka do under his tenure. He has got a 2-year deal. Whether he sees out that 2-year deal or gets that deal extended, we'll wait and see how results play out. But let's see what happens. I mean, he's not a bad coach. Look what he did with Essex back in 2017. He turned that side around, got them to become champions for the first time in a quarter of a century. He was a decent assistant coach under the England setup, became the head coach in 2019, but the second half of his tenure was nothing short of disastrous. So he wants to rebuild his reputation. Could this be the way to do it? We'll have to wait and see. But there you go. Sri Lanka have appointed Chris Silverwood as their new head coach on a 2-year deal. Thank you very much for watching. Please place your thoughts in the comment sections below, and I'll have some more videos for you very, very soon.